So again, we're talking about different units of measurement, and your book has a nice chart. You can look it up in chapter 11 about the different types of units of measurement. Here in the US, we use what are called customary units of measurement, and they have this chart. You were probably familiar with these units of measurement, but different units for length, units for area, units for volume, units for capacity, and units for weight, and also units for temperature. So these are the standard customary units that we use in this country. And you'll notice over here on the side that we can convert from one unit to another. We'll be talking about that in a future video. But there are some units that are appropriate for larger measurements, some units that are appropriate for smaller measurements, and units that are appropriate for different attributes to measure about different things. So another way to measure is to use the metric system. You're probably, again, familiar, maybe not as familiar with the metric system. So you may want to review these different prefixes for the metric system. The nice thing about the metric system is it uses this prefix and basic unit kind of system. So here in the center, we have all the base units for length, meter, for capacity, liter, for weight, gram. And then what we do is, depending on if we have a smaller item that we're measuring or a larger item that we're measuring, we can add these different prefixes. And it's all based on the decimal system. So you should know the relationship between milli, centi, deci, and especially, you can also know deca and hecto. We don't use those as much, but kilo, definitely. And you'll notice here that the commonly used measurements, units of measure are all listed here. So basically we do use, by the way, the base units as well, but we also use millimeter, centimeter, kilometer or kilometer, milliliter and liter, milligram, centigram, gram, and kilogram, or kilo, as some people call it. So be aware of these different types of units and their relationships with each other. Another thing that you will want to know is that 1 milliliter of water weighs 1 gram and has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. So that's going to be helpful later when we do some conversions. Speaking of conversions, I have here, also from your book, a chart that relates the customary or US system to the metric system. So you will notice that there's a conversion here for length, for capacity, and for weight. This conversion, 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters is an exact conversion. The others are approximations. 1 gallon is approximately 3.79 liters. 1 kilogram is approximately 2.2 pounds. So again, some relationships so that if you're not as familiar with the metric system, you can kind of gauge how big things are in the metric system compared to what you may be more familiar with in the US customary system.